Barbecue 17 here, and as you can see, I got a massive package in the mail today. And so I'm going to open it up for you so we can see what I got. It's from Big Bad Toy Store, one of the sponsors of the Epic Review. Got my giant knife to open this package. Alright, that bad boy's open. Let's see what's inside. Lots of bubble wrap. Some little Big Bad Toy Store announcements. My invoice. And the Predator 2 Trophy Wall Diorama from NECA. This is something that I have been really excited for as a big fan of Predator. NECA has really been doing some neat things with this license. This year we saw for the first time them make a character other than a Predator, or the Predator Hound. They made Arnold Schwarzenegger's character, Major Dutch Schaefer, and for a few years, a lot of the NECA Predator figures have come with different skulls that everyone recognized from the end of Predator 2 when we see inside the Predator spaceship. We see that big wall that had all of the different skulls on it. Well, we kept collecting the skulls. If you bought all the figures, you'd get a different skull over time. Or you could have went on NECA just last week and purchased one of their little sets that has all of the skulls, in case you didn't, which, other than a few of the skulls, actually didn't have all of them. Well, I was able to buy them, so now I'm much more excited about having this wall to cover with all of my trophies. So we'll take a quick look, and first let me say, this thing is really, really heavy. The box shipped, I think the box shipping weight said about 9 to 10 pounds. So this thing is really, really heavy when you pick it up. I was kind of wondering if it's going to be plastic. I bought the NECA Freddy furnace, and I really liked it, but it was very light. It was made of a rotocast plastic. It was hollow, and so it didn't have that, that oomph when you picked it up that said this is a really high-end prop. You pick this thing up, and it's really heavy. The box is pretty cool. The front has a picture of what the wall looks like, and you can see all of the neat decoration, and it has the Predator 2 movie logo. That's pretty much covered on the top as well, although you can see some scenes that show different ways to display it with your different Predators. And then on the back, you have this little write-up about it. It says it's a limited edition of 5,000 pieces. I don't know that it's numbered, but I will read it. It says, "This special edition diorama measures over 11 inches tall and nearly 12 inches across, and is a faithful replica of the trophy wall seen within the Predator spaceship at the end of Predator 2. Let's look inside the box. Looks pretty collector-friendly so far. It has a little tab there. You just pull it out. It does say ages 17 and up, so if you're under 17, sorry kids. Here's a little printed instruction sheet that looks like it shows where the different pegs are, so you can put the skulls on the wall. And let me say, this is a true test of will for me, because I have never had the patience to wait for an opening of a toy to be filmed before I actually open the product. I'm surprised this made it inside the house, still in the box. Alright, it's got some styrofoam, it's in cardboard here. It looks really nicely protected, which is really good to see with something like this. It's not incredibly expensive. Through Big Bad Toy Store I paid $65, which, I mean, that sounds like a lot, but compared with what you're getting with how heavy this is, I don't think that's a big deal. To put it in comparison, your average Masters of the Universe Classics figure probably costs you about $30, $25 before shipping. Alright, this has got a little tape around the side, so I'm going to pull out my big knife again, my sneak-around knife. Terrible Arnold impression that was. There we go. Alright, so this cardboard just comes off pretty easily. And the sides pop out. This thing is gorgeous. Alright. It is really heavy. I mean, if you just heard that hit the table here, this looks to be like a polystone material. I don't know if the back says exactly what it is. It does not, but I think it's like a polystone material of some kind. If you're familiar with a lot of busts or statues, typically that's what they're made out of. It's a little bit cold, and if you just touched it for a second, you almost would think it was made out of metal. It certainly has a metallic appearance, though. And this thing is really, really, really substantial. And I'm going to move this back so you can see it. This thing is pretty cool. So it's the trophy room from Predator 2. And you can see the back of it, I mean, it's just flat. You know, so, I mean, obviously you're not going to display the back of this thing. On the bottom, there are some those little things that you put on the furniture to keep, you know, wood or surfaces from scuffing. So that's kind of nice. There's a little bit of styrofoam residue from the, you know, the styrofoam kind of crumbling a little bit. So you probably just have to break that, you know, to blow that out a little bit. There we go. But you can see this thing is really, really cool. All of the details here, I mean, there's just so much texture. This is very mechanical looking. All over as I'm looking down, you're going to have a hard time seeing it, so I'm going to try to zoom in a little bit with the camera here. But you can actually see, if you look down, there's the writing that we often see, like on the Predator's wrist gauntlet or on the Predator spaceship. So you can see a lot of the writing there. To give you a sense of the scale, here is the NECA City Hunter Predator, the Predator from Predator 2, from the Toys R Us exclusive 2-pack. So that's a figure that's probably a little over 7 inches tall. This thing is massive. I mean, when you really look at it, it is really huge. Lots of detail, just a heft to it. And I imagine you probably could take a lot of your Predator figures. I have not been collecting all of them, but if you're somebody who's been collecting the whole Lost Tribe of Predators, they would look amazing in front of this thing. And I think it's large enough that it wouldn't look silly being dwarfed by about 12 or 15 other figures. It's really nice. There's one last thing here. Actually, two last things. One is the whole set of all the little bits and bobs that keep the skulls on the wall. It's in a little plastic bag. And if you open it up, they're all different too, and they're really detailed. Well, they're not all different. These two look to be the same. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different pegs that can be plugged in to hold things. And probably one of the coolest things about this set, we've got every skull from the film, except the one that people call the Tyrannosaurus skull, or T-Rex, which is not really Tyrannosaurus, but it's a giant alien monster of some type, and there it is. That thing is huge. I mean, look at it compared to the Predator. This is something skull. I'm looking to see if there's any articulation on it. I don't think there is. I don't think there's any articulation points. But it's going to set up here, and in just a minute, I'm not going to take the time on camera, but I'm going to put all the skulls on it so you can see what it looks like put together. Okay, here's an in-progress shot. I've got all the little pegs on here. They all have different plugs that go in. 2 of them are the same, but it was pretty easy. It only took me about 3 or 4 minutes to put them all in here. And they all seem to fit really tight. Just be careful. If something doesn't fit, don't force it. Try to twist it around a little bit. Make sure you're getting it in the right way, because the pegs, some of them look like they could be a little bit fragile. But all the pegs are on. So this is my Predator trophy wall. I'll buy it with no trophies yet. Okay, we're back. And I've got this thing together now, and it's so freaking cool to look at this. So I just want to point out, it has all of the skulls with it now that are part of the movie diorama. Okay, so you've got the T-Rex skull that comes with it, is right up here. It plugs on securely. It hangs really nicely. You have this one that's I call it the chin. So Anyways, it fits on really well. As you know, also, both of the skulls that have the spine attached to them, the bloody one and the non-bloody one, there's a little kind of like a claw. You just put the, be careful, you don't want to break the claw, you don't want to break any of the vertebrae, but they fit on there pretty nice and tightly. The little skull down there has kind of a peg that goes up in it, and you just rest it on top. This little one, I call it Keenzer, because it kind of looks like the little guy that hangs out with Scotty in the new Star Trek movies, who's named Keenzer. That's on there. There's the Xenomorph skull, the alien skull that kind of launched the whole Alien versus Predator thing for Fox. It hangs right up there on two different little pegs. And lastly, you have the one that I like to call Underbite. He is the only one I had a hard time getting on. His hole, where you're supposed to put a peg, the peg is a little bit smaller than his peg hole. So you really have to kind of rest it against the side to get it to stay on there. It looks awesome. I mean, just think about how cool your Predator diorama is going to look when you do something like that. I am so thrilled that NECA went and made this. It's not something that I ever thought we would actually see. But as we started seeing the skulls coming out with different figures, I think we all kind of hoped this would happen. But I think it turned out better than I ever possibly imagined it could. What's really cool is obviously you have a few skulls that came with other figures or came with the set that was shipped right from NECA that don't have a place. Well, you've got this nice table here, so you can put some extra skulls. Here's the Predator skull that came with the Alien and Predator 2-pack. Here's one of the Super Predator skulls that came from a set. Got an extra skull just laying around from the Water Emergence Predator. We can put that there. You've got plenty of room. Here's the skull, the Keenzer skull from the old McFarlane Predator. Yep, we'll stick that there as well. Here's the skull from Vicor, or actually that came with Demo Man from Masters of the Universe Classics. It looks pretty cool. Let's put it up there. What else do we have? How about a Crystal skull from Indiana Jones or Stargate? Put that on there as well. How about a 6-pack of beer from Hellboy? Okay. Predator likes a lot of different kinds of trophies. Here's an urn. Whose ashes? I don't know. Here's a dreidel. Why not? You could have caught a Pikachu. And even an Admiral Akbar stamp from 1983. We'll put that there as well. And I think you and your Predator will be really, really happy with this trophy room. I'm going to do a written review on the epicreview.com. That's www.epicreview.com. But if I were giving my review now, giving my final summation of what I think about this, I'm going to have to go with Epic. I did not think this thing would be that large. I didn't think it would be as heavy as it is. I didn't think it would look as good as it does now. I am really, really happy with it. And I don't give too many toys an Epic rating. So I'm really pleased. So once again, this is Barbecue 17 from the Epic Review, wishing you happy collecting.